I think that's what stands out to me is this is 2 games in a row where I felt that we had a complete 40-minute game performance, and that's what we're striving for right now. I think the really cool thing about this team, and I may have said this on Thursday, but we're still getting a lot better. We have a high ceiling. We're still growing, and that's an exciting thing as a coach when you know that our best basketball is still in front of us, and we're starting to see it come all together. We've talked about that a lot in film, like when we have team meetings. I think it was Michaela that said, one of these days we're going to put it together on both ends, Coach. And we're starting to see that. And that, again, is, it's a credit to our players. I mean, they're just very coachable right now. I mean, everything that we've been talking about, particularly on the offensive end, they did today. I mean, even our pace was so good that we're getting moving screens because our pace is so much better than it's been. So, that to me, that is a positive. We're looking at the positive in it. And I'm just proud of, again, for them listening, improving, and continuing to grow.
13 assists this afternoon, ball movement very well, a lot of passing, a lot of sharing the ball, and it worked very well again today. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I think when we operate at this type of pace, we're a lot tougher to guard. And, so much of what we were doing, even a week, 2 weeks ago, was just slow, and we were stationary, and we're easy to guard. We're now, we're moving, we're cutting, we're screening, we're finding our reads. That takes time for players to really, go from having to think about it to just react. And I think that's been, obviously a big difference.
You've mentioned several times throughout the year, Octavia's had to deal with double teams, triple teams, and then she goes off for 34 today. What did you see out there from Marshall's defense that allowed her to play the way she did?
Well, I think a lot of it is just Tay. Her and I had a conversation about just trying to play with less pressure. She wants so much for this team. I think she puts a lot of that weight on her shoulders because to whom much is given, much is expected. And we expect a lot out of her. And I think when she just kind of lets it go and is herself, you can see that she's the best player in Conference USA. She was outstanding today on both ends. Let's make sure we talk about that too. I mean, there was some switching that our defense had today, but she was on number 4. She we hold her scoreless in the second half. That was huge. So like I said, Tay was the best player in the league today.
Tay, at what point did you realize that you were going to be able to score some points and score a lot of them this afternoon?
I think just like Coach said, I just let it come to me. I took whatever they gave me, and I just went with it, and they couldn't stop it, so I kept going.
What's the feeling when you go down, you get a defensive stop, guarding number 4, guarding one of their players, then turn around and come down and hit a 3 on the other end?
I think that for them is very draining, and we like to capitalize off of things like that. That gets our momentum going, and it kills their momentum for sure. So I think once 4 puts her head down because she messed up or something, we take advantage of that, and we keep going from there.
Coach, we got to the foul line 21 times today compared to 8 for them. That's always a key for us to get to the line, but more importantly, keeping them off of the line is just as big of a deal.
Yeah, we wanted to be more aggressive today. When we played them in our first matchup, we weren't really able to get to the paint the way that we needed to, and we settled for a lot of shots. And the number one key was just to attack in transition, attack in the half court. And when you operate with a better pace offensively, that also helps you find those gaps to be able to attack. So our players were really locked into the importance of that key.
What's been the key for our three-point defense? Very good today, again, holding Marshall to just 20% from behind the line.
I just think we're really active. It's a collective effort. I mean, it's easy to look at. Tay has been, an outstanding defender this year. We've talked about J-Mac was an all-defensive player last year. You have Lena and JC out there in the perimeter who are really long. Michaela is growing as a defender, getting better. Kiki, obviously in the paint, is our protector. But so it's really a collective effort. But I think a lot of it has to do with our activity. I mean, when you watch us, the number of deflections that we get, so that we can cover ourselves when we do make mistakes. When there's opportunities for teams to get open shots, we'll get a deflection, or we'll put our hand in there and throw off their timing, or something of that nature. So it's a collective effort from the team, no doubt.
Tay, what was the kind of the message among players after Thursday's big win here over Western Kentucky to make sure that momentum rolled right on into today?
Keep the momentum going. We have the momentum right now, and we want to keep going till we finish it out.
This is the fun time of year, getting down to the final few weeks of the regular season conference play. Third game in 5 days coming up. How do you feel as a player? What's the team morale? You feel good, ready to keep going?
For sure, we're still ready to keep going, keep playing, no matter how sore, tired. It gets tiring, but I think all of us as a collective, we find a way to push through and, get the job done.
And then, Coach, along the same lines, still one game at a time, next game coming up Monday against FIU.
Yeah, FIU is what's the most important game on our schedule right now, and we know that. I mean, my message has been to the team. To me, it's more of a mental thing than a physical, and I know how you feel at this point in time in February. I played at this level, so I get that. But to me, what separates teams right now is their mental ability to keep doing things well regardless of how they feel. And that's been our message to the team. I think that they have certainly embraced that and hopefully can continue to do it.
Coach, we had over 1,000 people here in the building today play for K. Just talk about the crowd and what today means overall.
Yeah, well, first I'd say it's great for our community to come out and support these young ladies. They deserve it. They've earned it. We need Niner Nation here with us, and we're happy to see everybody out here supporting. Also, two really important things for us today are Play for K, raising money for cancer research. So excited to see people partake in that. And it was also Alumni Day, and those were two things that we talked about right before we came out to the court, that this game was about more than us today. This is about those that have survived or are fighting cancer and bringing them hope, bringing them joy, taking their mind off of their battle right now. Also about our former players who are here. None of us would be here without them. They have laid the path for us, and it was important for us to go out and make them proud, and I think we did.